Louis Marz.
One more time, Dromigo.
Guy who put me on to Flesh and Blood.
And I've regretted it ever since.
Yeah, I won't let him quit, so I need somebody
I want
else
to quit
to
so bad.
talk about all this stuff. This is our first live stream that we're recording. We're just going to go over a few things. I'll let y'all know it probably took like 2 hours to try to set this up, so bear with us. Ghetto gamer shit, and that's how it works.
If we had Patreon, we would show you the bloopers, but we don't have a Patreon yet. So.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. See how far we could take this. Okay. Sky's the limit. We'll go ahead and just jump right into it. Bright lights. We got spoilers. We got a few things with the lore. We got a few things with some theories that we have, and new heroes, new sets. It's all good stuff. I guess we'll start off with just the lore real fast, just because kind of something we don't really know much about. I won't lie, I have not read it. I'm just more into the game, but as I get more involved into it, I kind of figure like, hey, I think the lore is kind of important. So Louis Marz read more of it than I did, so I'll go ahead and just let him take over and then just see what the hell I can come up with out of it. So go ahead, take it.
Yeah, I haven't read like all of it. Like I still just barely started the other day. I read bits of it when I started the game because there's a lot of it. Because they were publishing stories since 2019. So it's like
we like super behind.
50 some stories, and then you have all the heroes. I haven't even read the little blurbs about each individual nation. There's like 8 nations.
I think so.
Yeah, so I read a bit about Arya and the Solana, the monastery.
Okay.
And feel free to correct any of us on how we're pronouncing this shit.
Yeah, I think the only thing I read was just some things about Arachne and the pits. I didn't really take in too much, so I don't really remember much.
I think I just realized Arachne reading that they refer to them as they. It's like, so I guess Arachne's non-binary, genderless.
Well, maybe because of the mask, we don't really know what it is.
Yeah, we don't know who they are.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
It's cool to have like that kind of like character in there, be inclusive. I mean, that's one of the things that a lot of people say about Fab is like the inclusiveness and the diversity of all the characters.
Yeah.
So
I would also think for an assassin, like that's a part of your identity anyway. So to just be called they, like you would already think like, okay, if it was a guy, like we could go ahead and just target a bunch of dudes or females. So to just call them they is like, okay, we don't know who's coming at us. So I kind of think that also plays into the whole assassin identity. But either way, it's still pretty cool.
Applies to Arachne specifically is that they pretty much their identity is just the work.
Right.
They have no aspirations, no other inclinations, no hobbies other than just the work of the kill. Yeah. Like they don't even have. It's even described in the lore that they don't even have like such an emotional connection to the point where they're like gleefully like celebrating the death. They just appreciate kill,
right?
The work of each one. So I find that like that seems to tie very well into having no gender identity, that they are just an existence.
Yeah,
they're just an agent. They're an agent of death.
No, that definitely makes sense. What else from the lore did you kind of pick up for whatever you did read?
I did read about Arya, and then found out, how Arya is showing how the craziness of the world is, that they have Arya constantly shifts and changes thanks to the flow. And it's funny that we're reading about that because remember earlier we were on Real Man's I mispronounced it, that whatever, but sorry, no disrespect. We were on his chat and they were all debating like, I don't know how it feels to be in a world with ninjas versus tanks. I remember I brought up the point, it's like, okay, but you all want to believe that Batman, some regular dude, can fight an alien, a demigoddess, a king of the sea, a cyborg, and a speedster, and a space cop with no problem. Okay, pretty sure a ninja can handle a tank.
I would think so.
This is in a world. Yeah, this is a world where you have one nation that constantly changes its surroundings thanks to some mystical element. It's like to say, like, and who's to say these ninjas are like just just like normalized dudes too? Like you don't know if they have like magic. You don't know if they have like Naruto strength.
Yeah, this world
I'm sure Naruto could take on the Terminator.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure this world they created, everyone knows what the world consists of. So to be able to prep and know that, hey, there is a world like metrics, ninjas know that, hey, a regular shuriken isn't going to do it. So we do need to advance our weapons. You know what I mean? But,
you don't even know what that shuriken's made of. That shuriken may have like and it even have like some ninja magic in it.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure they've already thought about all of this, and they're just like, yeah, we know what's going on. That's why it makes sense, and that's why we did it. So
right, one of the most popular franchises, One Piece, has Zoro, samurai, stronger than Frankie, cyborg, like a robot suit.
Yeah.
So thinking too much about this.
Yeah, yeah. And plus he has a sword in his mouth, and we're still all trying to figure out like how does that work. But we accept it for what it is.
We saw the live action. That's how we saw how it worked.
Yeah, CGI. I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much all we know much more about, more or less, with the lore. We'll definitely get better and better at it as we read into it and kind of figure things out. I guess the next thing we could go into is the mech cards. I mean, that's pretty much the biggest thing coming out right now. So
right, because the reason we started getting into the lore was because specifically today, it's today that we're recording this, they've revealed at 3 p.m. the new hero, Max Nitro.
Yeah.
Which the night before, when we saw that picture, which I don't know if you can bring up the picture that we saw.
Yeah, I can pull that up real fast. It's the zipper hit, correct?
Well, there was a silhouette we saw first, and that you saw in the Discord, right? That they shared.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up real fast. You can continue.
But we saw a silhouette, and then people started seeing it, and they thought, "Hey, that looks familiar." And they went back to the card Zipper Hit. They thought that looks similar, and they saw the quote underneath. The quote was tribute to someone named Maxwell. Yeah, right there. So you have Zipper Hit, and you have the quote, and the quote is Maxwell. So
yeah, when we saw the hair, and then I had somebody in Discord post a picture of Zipper Hit, and I was like, oh shit, I think the dude's name's gonna be Maxwell, because when I was at the armory last weekend, somebody was telling me about Teklevossen, and one of the cards, Blessings of Ingenuity, or whatever, I always mess that name up. Ingenuity. Yeah. At the bottom it has a quote, and it also says Teklevossen. And we all know that these cards came well before Bright Lights did, so we kind of realized, like, hey, there's actually a bunch of spoilers and already things in these cards that are to come, and that all these cards are already kind of pushing it out there. So even to just see like his hair in the silhouette, knowing that it was blue, and seeing how some of these colors around affected his hair color, it was like, yo, that's definitely got to be him, right? And when they finally revealed the hero today, it was like, oh shit, it is him. Like, dude, did we just figure this out? Like, hold on.
And it's so funny because the lore has been there since day one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like all the people who read the lore are probably shaking their heads at people like us, like, yeah, it's obvious. Like the lore's been, you have all the flavor text written into the cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of the pictures and art in the cards actually reflect what's going on in the story, which I don't know.
I mean, even in like Dash's story, she was, the daughter of the founder of Teklo Industries. So
to have a Teklevossen hero shouldn't have been a surprise, right?
An important role. Yeah. So her father being an important role enough to eventually give him a hero card makes sense.
And that's kind of what led us to.
By the way, it's not based off of Tony Stark. It's based off a real life person,
Tesla. Yeah.
So people need to
open a history book. Figure that out. Read a book. But that's really what led us to kind of start looking more into the cards and kind of trying to figure things out. We
So we
started
looked at
speculating.
Throttle, right?
Yeah, we started looking at cards like Throttle. This one right here.
And the character is named as, or the quote is attributed to an Elias Edgecombe.
Yep.
So it's this believable, then that guy in the picture is probably Elias Edgecombe. So I wonder sometime in the future, it's Elias going to get his own hero card, and he's going to start becoming a major character.
Yep. So
in the Flesh and Blood mythos.
And then that also led into another theory that we did have about that because...
Oh, we started getting a bit deeper, yeah, because we started looking at all the cards, like, here he is, Elias again. And you can see he has that suitcase that lets out the different drones. Yeah. So that might be a major weapon that he's going to have. Or the steam hammer, like, go back to Throttle. Yeah, I figure his main weapon is going to be the steam-powered hammer. You were debating me, like, if it was a pickaxe or a hammer, but he says in the quote that's a steam-powered hammer.
Steam-powered hammer, yeah. And then even still with the ages,
as a card.
Yeah, and then even with like the ages of these characters, like if you notice, with Blessings of Ingenuity, I have such trouble with that. They have a super old Tech Leviathan in here, so it's like, okay, you have your young, you have your adult, but then you also have this older version. So when I was looking at the Dissipation Shield, it's like this really old dude like hitting the ground and creating the shield. But if you notice, his beard, mustache, and even his pants, they're very, very similar to what you already see with Elias.
He was right there, huh?
Let me pull the one you can actually see him.
Or Elias. We saw him. Yeah. Anyone know how to pronounce that name? Let us know in the comments.
So if you do zoom in, you'll be able to see like he's got the stripes on his pants. So that's probably going to be him in that other photo where he's like super old. Which then led into another crazy theory that we had about a certain card. I believe it was Cognition Nodes.
First, we start speculating him being old. Is that if you go back to him being old, Teklevasan, if that was just him in the future, or is it possible that it's him in the past? Somehow he was able to, through science and technology, store his youth.
Yeah.
Like, what is that picture of him? And like, what is the time frame of that picture?
Exactly. And
so then we start getting, it's like, oh, so he's restoring youth. Like, well, and then we start thinking, like, well, how did he get that step? And then we were going over cognition nodes and saw how it was like an old woman with the
stuff attached to her brain.
Who the old woman was. And was the old woman his wife, his mother,
could it be Dash? Because if there's an older Elias or Elias, if there's an older Tech Leviathan, then maybe there's an older Dash. So maybe that could be Dash. Maybe Data Doll MK2 is Dash.
Right, because then we start speculating, because that was the first thing we got to. You pretty much spoiled while I was getting at that. But yeah, I started thinking, like, what if that's who Data Doll really is? That she's not actually just some artificial intelligence. What if the reason she has feelings and stuff in her lore, the Bible I read, is because she actually has a human soul in her.
Mm-hmm.
It was a human soul. And so that's like, is that in Cognition Nodes real Data Doll?
Yeah. So all these little speculations.
I don't think it's Dash, though. Have Data Doll and Dash, have their heroes in the current meta.
Yeah.
You should think like they're not the same person.
No, that makes sense.
I'm leaning to someone close to Tech Leviathan.
Yeah.
Which makes me even which is why I went with the sister or even his wife.
No, and it makes sense.
Dash obviously has a mother.
Yeah. I guess the only thing that made me think it was a Dash was, and I'm just trying to be detailed about it, is the hair. The hair length and all that is kind of similar, so they have to be somewhat related, right? Can't just be some random old chick.
I mean, people unrelated can have the same hairstyle. The haircut.
Plus, we also had this interesting one right here.
Right. So
Like, you
in
got
the
this
background,
other
you
chick
have
in the background, like, what's going on? So we just have a bunch of speculations and theories. I guess the only reason why we can kind of believe maybe what we're on to something is because we did hit the Maxwell one. So I don't think we're reading too much into it. We just gotta kind of wait and see what happens. The other thing that would
as,
make me not believe
as
that
we
it
were,
is Dash would be this card database.
right,
So either
because there's
she's
like a separate avatar there.
yeah, and I don't know if this blue girl is coming out or if it's going in. You know what I'm saying? Like if they took cognition nodes and they took the data out of her, then is there a way that they could place the data into a newer type of body? I mean, if Tech Levasan is doing like some crazy time youth thing, then
So instead of putting it into, like, his first subject was putting it into a robotic body, and then he figured out how to put it into a cloned
yeah, something like that.
human body.
Something like that.
All right, yeah, and that's how he got his youth back. Yeah, and then he was able to do it with his daughter.
Yeah. And if you could see in the picture, I mean, she is younger. She does look like a little kid.
Because if you went back to that one the card you were showing, what card? Yeah, we were speculating if that was some AI that Teklevasan had helped with his calculations or whatnot, or like Starcast, Jarvis, whatnot, or if it's a complete artificial intelligence or a consciousness that was downloaded.
Yeah.
Like Halo, Cortana, you find out was, well, not exactly the consciousness, but she was modeled after her creator. She essentially took her consciousness and duplicated it into Cortana.
Yeah.
It could be a similar thing.
And that's hard, man. It's crazy. This is another one where we already got a little sneak peek of Maxwell as well. And where I kind of already knew it was him because if you have blue hair and there's some red lighting around here, it's going to make your hair purple. So
also, if you're a punk, you constantly would dye your hair different colors anyway. So he probably just dyed it that that day as well. Or you could have, yeah, like you said, it could be such technology they have where you have like luminescent hair. It takes the lighting from the area and changes.
That would be hard. That'd be crazy.
That's some crazy Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Crazy Blade Runner shit in metrics.
So we definitely kind of came up with some crazy theories. We did hit the first one, so we kind of just started speculating more and putting these cards together, and then that's when we realized like we should probably read the lore so then we could actually understand more.
Over.
Yeah, because who knows, we might actually read the story and find out like, oh no, that we were way off, or we can actually be on point and get the right hints and be like, okay, yeah, we're actually on to something here. So it was definitely exciting to see the silhouette of the hero, see the zipper hit, put it all together, and then
we finally found out that was a wrench on his shoulder because the first picture we saw was like, is that hammer?
Bro, I thought it was a rocket launcher. I was like, dude, are we gonna get a rocket launcher, bro? Like, I'm ready to blow shit up. Then I thought it was a steam powered hammer, and I was like, okay, that's still cool. And now it's just a wrench. Like, I guess.
You're not excited about the wrench?
Not really, no.
Maybe it's steam powered wrench. Maybe it's a steam powered wrench.
I mean, how tight is a bolt? Like, come on, man. You don't need that much torque. Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like the wrench, because obviously with Maxwell, they're going for like a punk thing, and a wrench just seems a bit more punk.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, you can smash it with a hammer, but if you're real punk rock, you get a wrench.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not punk. I could be way wrong on that.
Yeah, but I did wish we got I did wish we got a rocket launcher. That would have been pretty badass.
So one thing in the lore, go under World of Wraith. So I read this and off the whole technologist hype, and as I was reading, scroll down a little bit more. Goes into go down a little bit more. So you went too far. Oh yes, Patreons. There. Going. Patrons of the Forbidden. Patrons. There you go. So the residents of the monastery originate from across many regions and kingdoms of the world of Wraith, unified only by their voracious appetite for arcane knowledge. Biomancers, arcanists, wizards, conjurers, summoners, witches, necromancers, alchemists, and mechanologists number among those who reside within the mansion, each with their own agenda and field of study. Mm-hmm. So are we one day going to see a shadow mechanologist?
Mechanologist room blade.
Uses arcane magic.
It's I would think so, man. All this is brand new.
Well, there wouldn't be a room blade. They would be a mechanologist, but they would have access to shadow cards.
Right.
Where are the shadow cards? Either way.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
some
possible.
Creepy looking mechanologist is out there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of what I was hoping for. I mean, Maxwell is cool and all, but everybody just seems a little too happy and bright. Even though the trailer's all like dark and like everything's jacked up, but I did want to see like just some crazy, just badass, like, yeah, this guy doesn't even look like he should be in Metrics type thing. Maybe like completely half robot, half human, but he's just like huge. Maybe like a mech brute. But yeah, all these speculations, man, they're not really far-fetched, so I think we're kind of onto something. If anybody else already thought about this stuff, just let us know. Maybe we were the first ones to figure it out. I highly doubt it, but I haven't heard anything or seen anything as far as content on it, so fuck that. We were the first ones. And then I guess we can just go into some other Bright Light spoilers. That they came out and just see kind of what we think about these new cards that they dropped.
Right. The one thing I did want to talk about was Maxwell's ability with the hyperdriver token.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at Maxwell's ability, so you see so he creates a hyperdriver token, 2 steam counters, and activate ability only if you boost his turn. Hyperdrivers you control get crank. As it enters the arena, you may remove a steam counter from it. If you do, gain an action point. So here's the one question I have. So we know what the hyperdriver does. It gives you a resource if you remove a steam counter.
Mm-hmm.
The token's the same thing as hyperdriver. Essentially, it's just unlike the hyperdriver item cards, depending if they're red, yellow, or blue, tells you if you're going to start off with 1, 2, or 3. Tokens are starting off with 2 thanks to Max's ability.
Yeah.
If you remove, but they have the same ability that if you remove a steam counter, you gain a resource. If you use crank, because the counters are removed when you boost. Yeah. In this case, I'm mixing up token counter. The counter is removed based on crank. But removing the counter, you crank, still give you resource. If you use crank, will you gain an action point and a resource, or will you just gain the action point?
I would think just the action point, because that's a lot.
Right.
Like, this hero is going to be broken before he even comes out.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought that would be the first glaring question.
Yeah.
In people's minds does it also give you, because the token specifically says remove a steam counter when you boost, you get. But then there are things like, okay, so is it just solely when you boost or when you remove a steam counter at all?
True. Okay, yeah, that's a good question for the community. Y'all let us know if whatever y'all theories is, or if you guys know exactly how that works, then just go ahead and put it down.
I mean, I'm sure LSS is going to clarify that because he clarified all the cards once the sets are officially released.
Okay.
So we'll find out. But that was the first question that popped in my head as I looked through the cards. So, and yeah, they have the token on here too. Scroll down. I don't know. I don't necessarily understand the order which they post this, but let's see, once per turn, when you boost a card, remove a steam counter from this and gain resource.
That's kind of weird because if I'm not mistaken, the original hyperdriver is exactly worded the same, except instead of saying remove a steam counter from this and gain, it says remove a steam counter from this hyperdriver and go again. Let me try to pull that up real fast.
And go again?
Or not go again, but gain a resource.
They're more or less worded the same, except they don't have start off with this many counters when you enter the arena. Because the token is going to get from Axe's ability.
Yeah, so the other one, okay, yeah, same. Once per turn, when you boost a card, remove a steam counter from hyperdriver and gain a resource. So the only word that's not in there is the word hyperdriver. It just says this and gain one. The hyperdriver says from hyperdriver and gain. So instead of saying this, they just literally say hyperdriver in the original card. So I was kind of confused when I seen that. I'm like, that's not really a new card.
It really is not a new card. It's just a new version of the card because it's a token. That's
and I
because
mean,
tokens are
even the art's
things
the
are
same.
Manufactured by abilities.
Yeah. So,
there's like an aura item, which is what they is it aura item is what they are. Action items.
Well, yeah, it would say.
So an action item is something you have to play. A token is something that's created through an ability.
Okay, so yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense then.
Yeah, tokens don't have resources or resource cost or defense or any of that stuff.
Gotcha. Man, and I actually missed this weapon right here, but this actually made me happy.
Let me see. So if you have one or more Evos equipped, this gets once per turn action. 2 or more, yeah, you can level it up.
Yeah. So I was excited when I seen that. It looks like a steampunked Thompson machine gun, where it has like the big cylinder on it, and then it shoots repetitively. So I was like, I like that. More guns, please.
You're all about that.
Yeah, I was super hyped about that, and
the reason why you gravitated to the mechanologist. I like the whole steampunk aesthetic.
Well, I liked that part too, but I think fighting ninjas and assassins and just being able to be like, stop moving, wow, is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
And now, just like the namesake, we're getting mechs.
Yep. That's pretty much all the most newest spoilers that came out. I think everybody's pretty much ran through all the stuff that we've already covered or already seen. I felt like it was important for us to go ahead and jump on these topics because, like I said, it wasn't something that I really seen other content creators put out, whether they do about these theories or not. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and just end it right here. I appreciate y'all for checking us out.
You do gotta watch out for what's the next event? Cause the spoilers article they list the dates they're releasing spoilers. They just have them under access denied. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
So right now they have classified files for Friday the 22nd. So this Friday, classified files for Saturday and Sunday, leading up to what is it? The preview release? How's it rephrased? Pre-release.
Yeah, pre-release. Yeah, we're just coming soon, man. So y'all better have saved y'all money, cause boy, they trying to take it. It's not even just bright lights. It's the round table. Like, how y'all trying to hit us with all of this at the same time? You want me to spend $160? I'll back up, man. Yes. I need money in my pockets. That's why it's difficult to stay into this thing. But hey, we finna figure it out.
So we are picking up the round table since we just gotta find enough people to.
Oh yeah. Open and I'm not gonna lie, I love that bard, man. I wanna play some songs and smack people with instruments. So I'm definitely hyped about that.
I just so far my only viewing of Bards is was it Jacker from The Witcher?
Yeah.
I know him as Dandelion because I heard his name through like the video game. I never played them, but that's how he was referred to as Dandelion, depending how you pronounce it. Yeah, I'm just imagining his character smacking people with his loot.
I kind of wish they would come out with another one, and he just kind of like just gets drunk or something and smacks you with a mug, or I don't know. Just I kind of like that whole life of the party, and like there's probably like this party world where people just play music, get wasted, and all this crazy nonsense.
Well, that is in the lore. That's where Bravo is. He's the star of the show. It's This is why we need to read
that's
more
why
lore.
I need to read, man.
Because you're answering your own question.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna definitely jump on it. I'm not gonna be a fake fan over here and just be like, yeah, I just play the cards and I like to collect them. Like, I'll go ahead and delve into the lores.
Everyone's welcome to enjoy whatever you want. That's the great thing about Flesh and Blood. It's the same thing with a lot of TCGs. If you want to get into the lore, you can get into the lore. If you just want to play the game, you want to play the game. All players are welcome. That's the whole idea about the community, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
You sounded like a proper community person.
You just come out here, do what you want, and it's all good. But
right, Ellis, Iris is a spokesperson then. Okay. So I guess that's it for today, right?
I got a box opening I got to do, so little heads up. I also got this in the mail. I haven't even opened it up all the way. Got a little Marvel Dragon in the mail. On the flip side too. So
how many dragons are you missing now?
Man, I think there's like 12 of them things, so I only have 3.
I thought you had more than that.
No, I got the regular ones, and then I actually pulled out the I don't even know his damn name. It's the main blue one with the big fire coming out his mouth.
You're such horrible fans not knowing the names of these cards.
Tomotai. Yeah. So I got 6 in total of the regular ones since I want to build the Dromai deck and go ahead and incorporate the dragons, but of course I don't want to play with the Fables or the Marvels. So those ones are definitely just to keep and collect, but I still want to get all the regular ones so I could throw them in a deck and just do some Game of Thrones shit and start blasting stuff away. So, which makes sense too. I mean, I would think a dragon could defeat a mech, a big armored robot. Like, why not? I'm sure wizards that shoot fire and Lexi with her crazy different types of arrows. Like, it definitely all fits together. I think people just saying like, oh, how's a ninja gonna fight a robot? Like, man, that's kind of. I mean, how's a bard gonna fight a robot? Sing him a song?
Again, wanted to go back to referencing another YouTuber, Roman. They brought that up, and we were chatting earlier how wonder people were getting that fear from Magic because they started incorporating all these different worlds.
Yeah,
it's gonna end up being like that, and I don't think so. Because first of all, it's not separate IPs getting together; it's all within the world that's being constructed.
Yeah,
self-contained. So
yeah,
I think people
we'll get there.
There's so many franchises that are like that, mixing science with sorcery. Like all the superhero stuff. Marvel DC definitely like that. Remember that old 90s series Gargoyles? That was awesome.
Yeah.
And Gargoyles fighting robots.
Yeah.
It worked.
And they was ripping arms off and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, no, I'm definitely for it. I don't think, but I'm hoping that Flesh and Blood down the road doesn't get that big to where they just sell their soul and like, oh yeah, you guys want to incorporate some other franchise and we'll make a bunch of cards and all this other stuff.
Well, I'm sure the Buddhist or Taoist would say, do not focus so much on the future hasn't happened yet. Just enjoy the ride while you can.
Exactly. So we'll go ahead and cut it right there. Appreciate y'all for checking us out. We definitely got more to come. Go ahead and
we got spoilers coming out this weekend, right?
Yeah, so we might have to shoot another one once the other spoilers drop. So we'll see. Just like you said, don't worry about the future and just enjoy the ride. So I'll let y'all go. Ghetto Gamer, We Marz. Catch us on the next one. What's going on, y'all, man? I hope y'all appreciate the little video, man. Probably jacked a bunch of things up, but that's what we do here, man. Ghetto shit. Either way, hope y'all enjoy the content, man. I got so much more to come on the way. Go ahead, like, subscribe. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love y'all. Stay safe.